That man's name is Nevin Shapiro, a 42-year-old from Miami, and I'll kind of set up the story this way about it. Well, he is in jail for about 20 years right now, incarcerated for his role in a Ponzi scheme. Now, what has taken place with the Ponzi scheme, doesn't exactly affect what's gone on at the U. What does affect the university happens to be what took place from the years of 2001 to about 2010. That is when that gentleman, Nevin Shapiro, was indeed a booster. In 2001, he came on as a booster. Yahoo Sports had conducted an interview with him by way of jail and by way of the phone and said, hey, okay, we've seen exactly what's gone on. About 100 hours worth of interviews, I should say. And he has alleged about 73 different players were given gifts. Come on now. That's not going to happen. But Kyle, your thoughts. Growing up in Florida, obviously you know the mystique that comes with the U, what took place in the 80s, right around when you were born. But still, now that this has happened again, A, does it surprise you? And B, do you think anything could possibly happen this year?
Absolutely not something happening this year.
No.
It's way too big of a story in the sense that kind of is it even big, because you think of the 30 on 30 special all about the U. Luther Campbell said he pretty much did a decent amount of stuff except for the prostitution, abortion stuff, but Luther Campbell said that he would give bounties for players that got hurt. Luther Campbell said that this stuff was happening. So really, is it blowing the lid off a school that lived on thug culture? That's their tradition, and it's a bad thing to be saying, but that's what they lived on. They lived on the shimmy. They lived on the dancing. That was their tradition in the early 2000s, in the 90s, even to the late 2000s. When they started to have a little bit of stuff, people are going, oh, they got that swagger back. They got the swagger back. That's what this campus is. That's what the University of Miami is. Now, I actually had a pretty great conversation thinking, is this going to turn into the steroid era that happened in baseball and college sports? Is the 90s the 90s to 2000 era of college football, every single university had to have some sort of scandal that was happening. It was impossible for them to not have that. That's going to be the interesting to come out. I don't think this Miami, I don't think it's going to blow the doors wide open. I don't think it's going to, stuff will happen. There will be sanctions, but at the same time, it's not going to be the thing. It needs to be one of those giant traditional schools that has to be, we have to make a stand. Miami, if you remember, they were about to lose their program back in the 80s.